Hello and welcome to the stream. We don't have great connection with our producer at the moment. If you're wondering why there was a moment of silence, but let's get into it. In
Cinema.
every story, there are arcs, right? There's always the Act One, the introductory, the Act Two when things get rough, and then Act Three when it's heading to the climax. And for Quick Esports, that is that today, because they are not quite yet in the finals. But if they want to get to the finals, if they want to win this playoffs bracket, there is one team in particular that they need to be able to beat, and that is TA, who they're up against today in what will be their toughest challenge yet in the playoffs. My name is Gio, joined by Jace. We'll be casting this wonderful game for you today, and this is going to be a challenge for the Quick Esports group.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to liken this to the arc in Star Wars where Anakin crashes out and just like murders a bunch of children. Um, I don't know. I've not seen the prequels. Don't hate me. Nonetheless, you know what? To almost sometimes you get like a transition. You're like speaking against the idea of younglings. We've got inexperience not on this roster for TA. We've got a veteran presence backline. Alba and Takuno are the big ones, I think, for Quick to try and deal with today, Gio, because as we were looking at the lobby, and as I said, Alba and Tech, I think they play basically every hero. Alba has once again re-emerged from the Japanese wilderness and is carrying on his run of doing well. As you said, TA really are the final boss for Quick here, so
I think Alba has some of the best lore. Disappearing into the woods of Japan, coming back and just being still like an absolute beast and getting better every week. And you're right. Takuno's such a strong duo to that. So TA Sports have a great roster.
Of course, as well, backed by PNR on the coaching. Good reference. Tech and PNR are good friends as well. So I'm sure they'll be chatting to each other all round. But as I say in F1, lights out and away we go. Dip on the angle, on the top. Probably just going to be looking to poke out Tama and Lauren. Of course, Sistoge has a little bit of struggle against both these DPS when they don't have their key cooldowns, but Dip's got this matchup. He's played it a bunch.
Yeah, and the thing is that it gives you extra kind of counter dive. Natsuki has went down talking about counter dive. You don't have your brig anymore, so you have to be a lot more careful where you're positioning your back line. And you can see positions taking on place as Lorne is just spamming in from very far back, completely uncontested here, just basically at the range essentially. Finally, Zydra's going to be pushing through to force him off point, and is hitting those shots. Is just going to clear it, and they will actually get control. That's very strong for Quick Esports to win that fight, particularly.
Yeah, and of course, Quick not actually Quick. Yeah, going with their normal backline. Snowdrop being missing because of injury. So as we said, Zydra filling in and absolutely showing out. Was a big part of their Map 5 run last week and continues to impress. On the Cassidy of all things, not something I've seen too much, honestly, since the start of Overwatch 2. This character, not a very good Geo, but Zydra making it work. Maybe it's a perk gap.
Could be a perk gap. I don't know if they're playing with the new buffs for Cassidy, but that's certainly going to get Cassidy a little bit more play. They have powered up their Winston and cannonballed them into the backline, but not quite hard enough as Tama can't quite go in. Yoham has now brought the beam from Mars down upon the side of TA, forcing them all away, and there's a lot of spam damage in this backline, and TA, they're going to temporarily just be respectful, back up.
Nice
bomb, but the extra health saves them there. Zydra so close to going up, it's going to get yeeted. Tama swinging to the fences, puts them in the corner, and hits them with the buckle bomb, and that will be clear. Oh my lord.
Okay, Tama on the Winston, Primal Mechanics. That's my white European Gooshway impression. There we go. You can see how far back the Quick wanted to play right because of the sustain. The long fight is always theirs. Like Peekaboo literally pops up with a Peekaboo, pulse bomb right on your face. And Dip just says, I'm just going to give myself 100 extra HP because my character is fair. They live it. That's big pulse bomb down. They just need to live. And sadly, they got corralled into the corner against the Primal Rage, those Fists of Fury.
Fist of Fury, also the Molten Core of Fury, the Mat of Pain placed by Dip is gonna basically stop TA from being able to recontest. Now it's being pushed into the latter 20% of the point. Lauren on an off angle here, looking to just shoot in there with that overclock. As Dip goes down to the damage from it, the rally from Natsuki keeping them alive. That would have been a massive web shot, but doesn't quite get that small tiny hitbox of their Tracer to whip them into the bomb. Takuno has Nano here. They're really going to have to invest if they want to recontest here, because Takuno is under a lot of heat. But look at the movement, the footwork. Takuno being kept alive, but the rally of Alba. Meanwhile, Peekaboo is decimating the rest of them, and they are able to reclaim the point.
Yeah, I mean, good call from Quick to go for that Ana. Great ult read, because that is their win condition. Unfortunately, Takuno, with those Grandma slippers, just a little bit too fancy. Happy feet, as they say. Not quite a wombo combo. It was just an Ana boost, all that they needed to close out that fight. But honestly, this isn't too bad for Quick. You're going to build Ray. You're going to have potentially another ultimate to combo with it as well. They flipped that fight so early. They've got 99 for free. And honestly, Geo, yes, it's hard to walk out of this spot that they're in right now. But once they relocate geographically, I think it's going to be completely fine.
It's all about relocating to a nice sunny spot. But Willis sends Peekaboo back to spawn. That's going to clear up those flanks. Allow Quick to just kind of push in here, be nice and aggressive. And with both High Noon and the Beam ready, they can just take so much space. Look how aggressive Zydra's being with that High Noon. Is going to be able to just force Tama away. Oh, just about goes down the extra damage.
Nice.
Perfect. Brilliant eat by Willis taking out the pulse bomb. Peekaboo could have definitely taken Zydra out there, which would have really helped them. No touch coming through. Quick Esports starting the first map with a very solid footing there.
Yeah, and Quick's comp is probably the closest you're going to get to a bunker-esque, I think, in 5v5, and it very much does work on an objective like this. Remember, once you have control, you can just sit on it for free and naturally accrue percentage. The enemy team has to be proactive. They have to get you off it. When you're on point, you can win or lose slowly. When you're off objective, you want to try and win and lose as fast as possible. And that really just is what Quick used to their full advantage. As we said, they played objective, they forced point, 99 for free, and then from there they had their big game-winning ultimate in that Ray to retake and managed to capture the objective. Again, now it's going to be a neutral fight, which gives TA a good chance to recontest. They're going to have flank angles here, but we'll see, because this stack, this core of Quick's comp is so tanky, particularly when it's like just Peekaboo going on the flank by themselves. They can get kited, gated, I think, almost a little too easily.
Yeah, and that core is dead. It's like a dwarf star trying to siege it. They don't quite have the spaceships required, but the point is open, and Tama gonna fall from above to cleave and cut off Willis from the rest of the team, who does keep alive. Speedring has been used, and Willis is going to find Peekaboo off the headshot from Zydra, which is working a charm, the old school counter to Tracer. Cassidy working wonders still in this day and age. The point has swapped over, and TA are unable to recontest. They have to play so passively that they have to back up. Yoham going down, though, will be the door that opens for TA. And you can say they kicked down the door, because without Yoham alive in this fight, they'll just slowly dwindle away. But again, Quick Esports are probably happy enough with that.
Yeah, nice work from TA, because Peekaboo just... You were talking about Tracer counters, old and new. The best counter to a Tracer is just to shoot her in the head. Put a bullet in her skull, and she will die. 175 HP is still a low amount compared to the bulk that everyone has been putting on since Season 9 in this game. And they managed to find a little quick 1-2 combo. But TA stall out the fight until Peekaboo is able to get back in, and they find the perfect pick. The break, that's their job, is to keep the Tracer away from the backline. Because as we saw what happened, they dropped it for a second, the eyes went down, and Yoham fell after.
Nice headshot to Takuno is going to force them to be a little bit more careful as they push forward into this one. Dip going down already is a bit rough, means there's not quite as much anti-dive spray available for when it happens, but TA get to sit back and just keep a hold of these ultimates.
Yeah, they do. And now it's on Quick to be proactive, right? And we really get to see the hard part of this composition, which is taking space, looking for the angle. The top turret actually going to do a great job. Spider-Man on the wall. There we say the Spider turret trying to deal with the Traitor. It does for now. Should give them a good opportunity for Quick.
And that's going to be a nice roll away from the Pulse. Tama did get the Nano, but didn't get quite too much done with it. Now the rally's going to allow that Vanguard to charge onto point. Again, Tama being good with the bubble to split off the team as much as possible, but it's not quite working out to the effect. And following up a rally with an Orbital Ray, that's nuking the city after you've already nuked it, but they still don't have control of the point. They're in the bunkers right now. Oh, but the fallout is large. Zydra hitting these headshots definitely warmed up. Their mechanics looking so crisp right now. But again, they still do not have the point. It's going to be 99%. It's going to be overtime. And they are falling down as Sekuno gets a two-piece and is staying alive while it's just finally able to get them out of the fight. Point is switched over. Peekaboo is forced back. They will have temporary control, but it's all about Willis just staying alive. Gets the Mega to do so. This fight's still going on. Willis has the bomb to stay alive, to remake, but they have to step off of point. Perhaps a blunder, because now they're forced to remain on it. Meanwhile, the side of TA, they've got a little bit more freedom to move here. And you see Tama just going into the back, a perfectly placed anti-nade takes Dip out. Those molten bolts not available to use. Bomb just trying to create as much space as they can, but doesn't quite get anyone. Pulse Bomb's already going to burst the health of Willis, who needs to go back and get the Mega, not available. Again to help with another nade to take Zydra. Sekuno in this long extended fight has had 4 limbs total. And that will be all because Johan's going to go down, will not get a chance to Orbital Ray. And TA looked like they were very comfortable that entire submap.
Yeah, again, just another composition really good at holding space in the same way that you're allowed to just sort of sit back and chill with the Diva, the Cassidy, and the Torbjorn and really extend your poke duration of that fight, right? We talked about fights having phases. The poke, obviously, right before the hard engage. And Quick, we're really looking to extend that. But Takuno can do exactly the same. If you give this man multiple rotations of his cooldowns, remember, Ana is a character that will threaten to end anyone with a sleep or a nade. And Tech was doing it with the primary fires as well on top of that veteran Ana play coming out from them. And you just can't really afford to give an Ana that much space and that much time, particularly one of Takuno's caliber. Because he's done it before and shows exactly that he will do it again and will threaten to do it another time.
I mean, to be quite honest with you, the fact that Sekuno isn't in the OWCS right now is a shock to me. One of the best to do it in EU for sure.
A small crime.
Yeah, it's a small crime, but you know what? Guess what? They can get into OWCS by winning the promotion if they're able to get to the top 2. Big anti-nade as we're glazing the Ana, gets the nade, forces Willis back, but they're set up on point. We've talked about this. They're very good at setting up this core of this composition to make it so hard to get into and poke around, but there's plenty of flank angles, and you can see Lauren having a field day, building up that rail charge. As soon as they get it up to 100, everyone is in danger of getting their head blown straight off their shoulders. Tama is just applying so much pressure on his front line. Is already going to have Primal Rage. Nano's coming up. So is Orbital Ray. And the point has not swapped over. A brilliant bubble almost causes the death of Natsuki. But the follow-up of the big Angie Monkey will take out Zyda. And there goes Dip. So TA winning it out with just the Primal Rage. And again, very efficient use of those ultimates.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Gio. Tama has absolutely had their Cheerios and Weetabix before logging on today. They are locked in. And I think, I was about to say, like, Zydra and Dip, I think, have definitely shown up and shown out. And Peekaboo and Lauren have been sometimes on the wrong end of the kill stream, but definitely on the right end just as much as well. But I just think it's Tama getting so much value with these nano engages. They're going to get to do it again here as well. Woo! Dip wins the 1v1, so it's the 5v4. Do they rip the nano already? There you go.
Peekaboo, of course, as we know, is Gucci, and Dip kind of went against them, took them out. That orbital ray definitely going to be enough for them to push through, but they did invest both support ultimates to get it. They finally have that percentage, but how much did it cost them?
It costs them a lot, right? You see the ultimates now drained dry for the side of Quick. The Ray and the Rally, obviously the big ones, not so much sustain and so much just free walk potential in the next fight. Obviously only Diva Bomb. You trade it for the Nano, so it's not too bad, but I think Alba's Rally is crucial. It's critical here. And let's hope that Quick don't get caught in the catch-22, because you have to pressure the Brit out to force that Rally, but if you do, you're going to walk straight into her open arms and all of the overhealth that the rest of the team are going to get. Zidra, just in no man's land. Goodbye, cowboy.
Yeah, that's not going to work out. Not quite. The Red Dead Redemption they were looking for. Well, the pause, the old mighty pause, we're very much used to that one.
Yeah,
but this is a fight that very much TA are in control of. It looks like it was actually Tama that is out. I think it was an auto pause. Lauren is still pulling the trigger on the overclock, and with Johan and Zyder down already, they're very much likely to win the rest of this fight. Willis is still in it, so could use the bomb.
Bomb's still available, right? Obviously, you have control of the objective right now, and this is what I want to see from Lauren on the Sojourn character. I can understand it's probably miserable playing into this composition because the amount of peel that Zidra and Dip get compared to what you're going to get on Soj is definitely way less, right? Because you're really looking at playing through and around this monkey that we have for the side of TA in particular. You can see the nano charge goes in, and that sort of just is that exemplified for sure. So I think just naturally less resources go over to your Sojourn. And when you're playing low resource Sojourn, I think it's just such a night and day difference between when you're able to really sit on the off angle. And to be fair, Gio, on a short map like this, we just saw it. Like Lauren pulls up with OC swings. Fair enough, gets 2, but 2 is more than they really should have gotten, and all that they will get. Okay. Almost off the map. Almost recall, incident.
Yeah, Gucci forced their own recall by falling off the map. Tama lost 80% of their ultimate there. That's very rough, but you know, these things happen. It's about how we move on from them and grow as a player. And they're not giving up. You see Gucci applying so much pressure, but Zydra can get so much damage done just sitting back doing it. And
we've been EMP'd.
We have been EMP'd. The match is still going on though.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
Okay.
Just for reference, by the way, actually, I don't know if I can talk about that on stream, because a player has just been banned in another game for cheating mid-match, by the way. In the Incendia series, someone has been banned for cheating.
Really?
Yeah. Mid-series, they've been banned. Which is, nonetheless, all our players in the lobby are legal.
Another eat?
Great eat.
Oh my god, Gucci's probably having an absolute fit, I would be for sure. But Zydra looking to try and equalize a fight that is in the favor of TA, but Tekuno going down actually is a huge blunder. Quick Esports able to kind of hold on for now, but Tama is unleashing the primal rage. A fight-winning ultimate in the hands of Tama. I reckon the reason the devs made it harder to get Primal Rage is because they were watching Tama play Winston and thought, oh, we need to make this a little bit harder to get.
Yeah, too many Goochway fans. The secret Winston Society has been in the lab in the tech, and now it's just the Dragon Blade all by itself. Got to make that ultimate a little bit harder. You can really see, like, in terms of the ultimate value that you've got on this TA composition, you think Primal is so low, it's just to survive, but I mean, the tech and the mechanics that have been coming in from the Winstons in these last couple of years. Zidra has lost to gravity.
Oh, no.
Oh, not again.
Well, you know, a little bit of scuffed. It gives character, right? This is character building. We don't need to really dwell on it too much, but TA are just looking like they're in a much better position now.
Yeah, the minute Luau logs off Zidra's PC and gives him his mouse and keyboard back, I think. Natsuki popping the rally though, great walk for Quick. The 1v1 for the Trace has actually been going on for this entire map, by the way. I'm not sure of the count, but they're in the corner, Gio. Not looking good.
But yeah, they're forced into corner, but they do pop their own rally. Lauren though, with the overclocking, that's something that's given Quick pause. 15% left. That pulse bomb could have been massive. Doesn't quite get what they were looking for, but they definitely need to make some moves. and that's going to be the initiation with the orbital ray. TA needing to back up, but Dip goes down. Was that Tama with a sniper monkey? I'm not quite sure. I didn't quite see where Dip was, but now it is overtime. Both teams at 99 and 98. This will be the final fight for both sides. And Tama, again, has built Primal Rage. And that is terrifying. The High Noon trying to take that monkey out of it. But the Nano right after the Primal, Takuno's got the double Nano perk as well, can go aggressive onto point with it. But eating the nade so Alba can't stay alive. Willis gets slept finally. But Takuno in a very dangerous position, and now there's no healing on point for the rest of TA, but Willis is so low, needs to back up, which does mean that Tama can just set on point and force the recall. Zydrut, though, has went onto the Sombra to get onto point fast. Alba has booped Natsuki, proving that the better Lucio in that moment. Pulse Bomb is a whiff. Willis taking Takuno down finally. No more healing. Willis might have done what is needed for Quick.
How have Quick flipped this?
I have an answer for you, Jace, but the fans of Quick won't like it. Tama going out mid-map was such a devastating loss for TA, but Quick Esports are able to capitalize, and they will get the first map.
Yeah, really, really good swaps as well, though. Natsuki hits the rollout. Johan back in record time as well to speed up, I believe. Actually managed to ring the Sombra out of spawn, and it looks like they've stabled. As I said, I thought it was going to be the death for Quick, right? Because you saw how long Willis was out that fight. No healers, 30% HP. I've even just had 30 HP in general. Had to go and grab that large health pack to stay in with a chance of even just fighting. That meant everyone else had to stall on objective. It was 99. You saw how quickly the overtime wick was burning. Almost lost it. Really nice juggle of the point. After some great juggles from Tama on the Winston as well, they managed to hit a little bit of a juggle of their own this time on the objective, not on anyone on the enemy team. And that's such a close map, right? It literally comes down to the last fight. I was about to say, that's honestly a little bit disheartening because I feel like Tama should not be able to do that much on Winston into your composition. Like, just press tab. Look at what Quick were playing. But no, insane lock-in in that overtime fight. It's so easy to just drop concentration for a second because look how tanky both of these compositions are, right? Like, they can eat cooldowns and live. And when their own survivability ones are gone, that's when they need to die. And Quick found those openings time and time again in an overtime fight while struggling objective. It's not easy at all, Gio, and they made it look, well, I mean, they did it. Like, they did it pretty well. And a crazy impressive stall and recontest from Quick there.
Yeah, being able to take a map from TA, even if, I mean, TA are well within the right to claim that was not a clean win, right? Let's be honest about it. They're well within the right to say so, but Quick did play well. And clearly both teams have adjusted to the hotfix because they are playing on that hotfix, right? You wouldn't think so, given how many Primal Rages we're seeing from Tama, but this is on the latest patch. That's why we're seeing the Cassidy get played a little bit more range, a little bit more damage on the Fan the Hammer, and it is working out very well for them. And the fact that now we see the Winston players being able to be like, oh, I can play Winston and I won't be forced to play against a Mauga, because for organized play, Mauga is more dead in the war than Roadhog is, I'd even say, because
probably not that far, but yeah, it's been...
Cardiac doesn't affect allies anymore in organized play. That's kind of the whole...
Yeah, the damage reduction is crazy good, right? You can just slingshot someone into the back line with insane damage reduction. Absolutely. I think Mauga has the problem of, if you're not really like 3-2-1, you're just going to get like blown up anyway because, you know, big Hawaiian, big Samoan man on the screen. You know, shoot that guy. Absolutely. And I'm sure the pro players will be very happy to get to play Winston, Diva, Ramatra, Sigma. So many tanks can just kind of get ran on and slammed by a gun in each hand and a smile on my face. So, you know, 2 guns in his hand, but definitely a frown on that man's face. Blizzard have literally ripped out and stamped on one of his hearts. That man is a 1-heart man now. No longer 2 hearts. He's not the doctor. He's just an ordinary man. Does the doctor have 2 hearts, actually?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not that
no,
much of a Hoovian. I was about to
yeah.
make a really good Time Lord reference there, but no, I
That's
can't
why
get it.
the theme is da 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 da, because
Oh,
it's
because
for
it's too
it's
hard to beat
two
me at the
hearts,
same
yeah.
time, right?
And the whole master thing as well.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about Doctor Who. Talking about time, I actually am not quite working out exactly how much you guys watching the stream saw of the last match. Um, Based off of what's happening, there's some technical stuff that is definitely beyond my head. I'm just a guy that looks at a camera and says things about the video game, so I don't really know what's happening. But people that know what's happening are working on it. So I hopefully you can see this next game. But yeah, Quick Esports already in the lead against TA is a bit of a reversal that what some people would expect. I wouldn't blame anyone for predicting this to be a 3-0 for TA, but Quick Esports already showing the kind of ferocity we need to see from them if they want to win against TA, which is something they need to do if they want to win the playoffs and potentially get into the OWCS by winning the promotions.
We are absolutely at the slaughterhouse because the stakes are real, Gio.
Love it.
There you go. Yeah.
Love it.
It's an all right line. I could hear the fake laugh, but you know what? I'm just trying things out. Like we got to rip a reference every now and again and see if it works. Because what is a cast? When it is a little bit more relaxed, if not just like forcing the Twitch chat to listen to your very poor stand-up comedy routine.
I'm just glad the Twitch chat don't need to listen to you constantly repeat the Perry the Platypus bit that you were doing before stream. So I'll take the steakhouse joke over that.
Hazard the Platypus. Perry the Hazard Platypus. Tamer is on Hazard. Definitely more survivable than Winston on this map. Really like it. Esperanza is great with all these places you can mantle and commit the short dives. So as I said, that I think is the spear point for TA to get back into this series and level it up. Just play through Tamer, play through that Hazard, open up the angles because you've got so much poke. There we go. Yeah. Time is bought. Lauren gets the quick pick onto dip. That is not easy to say.
Yeah, the quick pick onto dip from Lauren. I mean, that's what's going to happen if a Sojourn is just a little bit too free, right? Very quick to build up the railgun and then take someone's skull apart with it.
Yeah, I mean, all they need to do is make sure that they don't slip and then flip the map and then go onto dip. There you go. So if they slip and then flip, they might be able to go onto dip. But nonetheless, 2 Torbs, I think is interesting to point out. It's pretty standard at this point, to be fair, just so much armor, so much to spin on that character with having no fall off, insane damage, left click, right click, tourbillon turret, etc. Oh! Okay, Dip swings it on his wands and just gets killed.
Dip just gets deleted from the video game. Like, goodbye. Didn't even have a chance to respond. Couldn't even do anything about it. And right now, TA are just dog walking quick.
Yeah, I mean, like, realistically, Gio, like, TA really want to get out of Portugal, don't they? Like, they are speedrunning this right now. They are not interested in staying around 1 minute in that lovely country any more than they need to. Esperanza, of course, based in the northern hills of Porto, I believe. But speaking of, Portside are quick on this objective, looking to retake it. Johan Shitsune Rush going to be big for them in this next fight. Kiriko, you know what I think about the Kiriko character, Gio? Why is probably the best word I could use to describe it.
Your opinion's very clear on the character, but nonetheless, Johan is a very good on carry and get a lot done with those kind of cheeky off angles, looking for the damage. Meanwhile, Zydrus just falls over, and the Kitsune Rush it's a step too late. Tama gets just about saved by that sound barrier. Lauren takes Natsuki down, and there can't even be the response of another sound barrier, and it just kind of feels like Quick are kind of being the opposite. They're acting second, and it's not quite working out for them.
Yeah, the space that TA are able to hold is so good, right? Like, Hazard fundamentally, from what I understand, is a poke dive character. You can play that poke, you go for those quick hits, and then you can hard engage with that leap, that slash, and obviously that spike guard to keep you nice and healthy. Insane damage reduction. It's better than Ramatra right click, by the way. So you just can't really get killed in that form when you are, of course, in that damage reduction. Peekaboo
Of
going to try and get a little bit of space.
Yeah, Gucci laying down the carpet. Zydra steps into it, almost goes down to it, but the High Noon's done enough to force TA back a bit, give some breathing room, but that's a level 100 beam that just about misses, and Dip is forced to use the overload already. See Wells, who has had to, of course, match that hazard. Dip putting down their own carpet to create a little bit of a pain point, but again, TA just backing up. Gucci will finally go down as well as his defensive spikes will find them, and just trying to get this Kiriko. There we go. DPS character struggling to take down a Kiriko is something that we've seen all of Overwatch 2, and part of why people like yourself aren't too fond of the character.
Yeah, sometimes you can just kind of double dink for 240 and it's good night. Yeah, the Torbjorn ultimates there were both committed, but just in different ways. I think Peekaboo really uses it to help his team take space, whereas Dip sort of does it to prevent the exit of Tama and Koda. They were looking to kite out, and they've got to either walk into the molten lava or just face death at the hands of the rest of their team. I said, always interesting seeing the DPS players' POVs. It really feels like there's so much spam damage on the field. As we saw from Dip just kind of swinging and getting completely one-tapped. You're on a knife's edge playing DPS on this lobby, on this map. You can die in an instant.
Exactly, and the parallel Kitsune rushes just heighten that tenfold, and the high ground still controlled here by Quick, but they do need to try and take an angle. They're the team that is basically on them to make something happen here. They need to force this forward. They need to get their own forward spawn unlocked. There's 5 minutes to do so. They're not against the clock yet, but they can't be too patient about it, especially when Lauren is going to pull out the overclock, the downpour, looking to sodden the efforts of the DPS player, but the sound barrier is also just going to keep the side of TA alive as a brief stalemate, but Zydra does have the ability to use this High Noon. Meanwhile, Will is taking so much damage. Oh, Tama is going to use Downpour, but it was Acid Rain for themselves. Takuno finding Zydra, but that's all they're going to find, and it will be Quick finally getting that butt scratch.
Yeah, moving away from Portugal to Scotland real quick, because all we saw was mud and downpour. Both hazards with their ultimates. Torbjorn again committed. What an insane charge time that was from Dip, and again finding just such good zoning value. And it makes sense, right? These hazards, these Sojourns, the Kirikos, they want to stay locked on an angle in a position for a good duration amount of time. And Dip can just simply zone that off. Gucci can simply zone that off, and then they would literally be Gucci, as you say. They would be completely chilling, just to completely, entirely deny that space. Yes, Bing chilling, as some might say if we were in 2021. You know, we would say the term Bing chilling, Gio. Yes,
yeah, I'm a big John Cena fan. I'll show my t-shirt after that I bought on Monday at WWE Raw. But nonetheless, it is Quick that are wrestling for position on the point with the Kitsune Rush. But Willis is a little bit alone here. Someone's going to help them. Fast TP and Suzu and Sound Barrier to keep their tank alive. The heavy investment needed is going to mean that there's nothing for this Kitsune Rush. They just have to back up. They're on the back foot, stuck in this hole. Willis goes down. Natsuki does trade a little bit as Alba. It does go down, but is it enough for them to keep this one up? Dip doing absolute wonders on this Torbjorn, proving that it's more than just the old meme pick of the old days, proving exactly why Torb is in the meta.
Yeah, and at the start it was just really good momentum building from TA, but now that the perks have come online and the ultimate economy has basically been reset, they have to walk back in again. This is just another ultimate that's going to be used really smartly to secure the lead. And we say that push starts at 3 minutes, and this game has started with
absolutely huge Molten Core is going to mean that TA couldn't touch, which means now the lead is in Quick Esports side. That is such a huge position, like you said, in the last 3 minutes to garner. There's a sound barrier that TA can use to try and push their element to try and get their control, but Zydra takes Lauren out right before Overclock was coming out. That was definitely going to be in their plans, but Takuno takes Zydra out, who kind of overcommitted on that flank, and now the rest of Quick are just going in, stalling out the point, doing their best, but they didn't get any offensive ultimates out of TA, but getting that sound barrier out, that is pretty big.
Big sound barrier. Absolutely. As you said, we're into the 3 minute stage now, so every ultimate gets more and more value because you're just less likely to have it TA. They have to complete a little bit of a run back here, but it's not too much more percentage they need to accrue on the barricade once they get it all the way back. But getting it all the way back just gives so much map control over to the side of Quick, and we can look to
talk about map control. Kitsune Rush comes out at the downpour to try and equalize it from Tama, but Tama's on so low health. We'll need to back up. Gucci, on the other hand, getting vengeance against Dip for that massacre spree that they went on earlier, and they have gained control. They're going to be able to stop that forward spawn for... Actually, no, all of the members of Quick will get spawned forward here. 90 seconds remaining.
90 seconds might be all that TA needs to regain themselves and get a foot in. Remember, first to 3, if Quick can secure this, that is match point already. With plenty of bans and last picks available, but Dip goes down.
Dip took so much damage, being the first one to go out there, that even their overhealth that they can use didn't quite help them out. And TA winning yet another fight without using this overclock. Lauren knows how important it is to keep a hold of this for potentially what will be the last fight for them to get control.
Yeah, I think it really is basically going to be one fight decides the series. Quick, well, they're basically looking for a pick here. There is opportunity for the cart to ping pong slightly, but not too much. 38 seconds. It really feels like one fight is basically going to decide this entire map, and there's so many ultimates ready to go. Willis, though, importantly, has that CC ability, that rain, that downpour before Tama has theirs. Might be a big advantage upcoming in this fight.
Ooh, Gucci took a big hit there, but gets the Suzu. But now that means Cleanse isn't quite there, and you're right, downpour is ready. If they're able to lock Lauren down, that would be huge. But there's the aggressive sound barrier, followed by the overclock. Downpour comes out, giving Gucci a lot of hurt as Dip follows up. This is a lot of damage. The Kitsune Rush there is going to keep TA alive at the very least, even through this molten core. There's the downpour from Tama, but Zydra finds Lauren. There's no DPS available. There's not enough pressure for TA. Esports, you cannot say that they didn't earn this one. No one left the game. There was no tech issues. This was all Quick, and they have put TA in a position where now TA are needing to reverse sweep if they want to keep on the winners bracket. Quick Esports are doing exactly what they need to do to be able to get to the finals, win the finals, and even potentially get into the OWCS.
Yeah, they've got them in the chokehold, Gio. And is it a matter of time before TA tap out? And I think a crawl to the ropes is going to be hard. It's going to be long. It's going to be difficult for them. But can they do it? You're hoping for always for a 5-map banner. Are we seeing?
There's my John Cena merch, by the way. That was
the classic merch.
Yes, the classic merch. The last time is now. Get it on WWE Shop. Not a sponsor.
No. It was like we can't shout out.
And there's the Scottish one, since we're talking about downpour. Anyway, tangent. Quick Esports. Let's talk about this. TA. Correct me if I'm wrong, they only lost one match in the regular season, right? And it was not against Quick, it was against I forget what they're named now. D'Empero, Frosttail Esport is what they're called now. This is huge. This is shaking things up here.
It definitely is, and we're seeing in a call from chat, it might be #quick work coming in. And this map again, it was long and it was arduous and it was a grind, but 2-0 up in the series, you'll take it. They had to do a hell of a run back, but I don't know, like every fight I look, it feels like I could just say, well, this fight, Dip doesn't have ultimate, and then next fight, Dip does have ultimate, and they just kind of molten core, and it gives them infinite space of which they're able to just sort of completely use and abuse to the full extent. We saw how much work Tama was doing on map 1 was so much quieter on map 2, particularly after like the 7-minute mark. Feels like the steam train, well, it didn't really run out of steam. It just stopped working and they got off. They got off midway through the track, and that is a long walk to the next station, Gio. And they're still on that train line track right now, and they better not hope another one is coming for them. So otherwise, it's going to run them over and run them out.
Exactly. I mean, TA have been completely derailed from their momentum now. They're in a position where they have to fight from under, and you need to get that locomotive on the move. But now it's the test, right? It's the perfect mental test of where we get to 2-0 and we start talking, oh well, it needs to be a reverse sweep. I feel like we always focus on the losing team when it comes to talking about mental and such, but we do have to talk about the winning team. You can get a little too comfortable. That is something you can totally do in any competition, not just esports, not just Overwatch, in any competition. Quick Esports need to make sure that they continue to play what's working. And one of the things that is working is their adaptation onto Cassidy versus Sojourn. Because Sojourn got nerfed, Cassidy got buffed. Sojourn's got a little less movement because of the cooldown increase on the slide. It makes her much easier to dive, not as much peel as well in a lot of the comps that they've been playing, where Zydra is clearly very comfortable to go onto Cassidy when they're looking strong. And when we talk about bans, do we see a Cassidy ban? Perhaps is that something we just force Sidra off of so we can get the Sojourn duel that we want?
There is almost like a psychology to that, where if you ban Cassidy, you've admitted defeat. I think because
well, they're losing.
they are losing, but it just feels like, do you really want to ban Cassidy? Like, out of all the things, like, I mean, it's like Zydra is completely frying on it. As they said, it's been such a this hit stand has been such a game changer for Quick since they've came in. Have won so many maps. I'd be really interested to see what their map record is. And we see I'm gonna have a look at the Quick stats in map 2. Do you want to guess how much damage Dip did on map 2 without looking, Gio?
Yeah, without looking, how much damage did Dip do? I mean, that was almost a 5k. I'm gonna say 17k.
It was 11k, so a little bit under. But I mean, the map was just about over OT, wasn't it? So the map was a perfect 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Zydra has 17k damage dealt in round 1, so I was thinking of round 1 a little bit.
3 maps of control.
Yeah.
I mean Zydra is frying, like literally frying.
I mean, yeah, the fact that like Quick have free DPS, right? Obviously, Snowdrop being the third. The fact that any setup on the DPS for Quick works so well is really a boon to the team, where it's not that they have a sub that, I guess we can play the sub, but it won't be as good. It's working wonders, right? It's as if this is the core team, whether they have Snowdrop in or Sidra in or Dip in, it doesn't quite matter. It is working well. So we are going into Dorado. I'd love to have a wee look at what the bans are for this one. Winston and Torbjorn are the bans for Dorado.
Yeah, Torb ban coming in from TA, I assume, right? Like after that map, because you ban the Winston from Tama and then they take away Torbjorn in response. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, again, this is just a great Torb map. There's so many weird angles that you can stick the turret to. Was a little bit down on that perk originally, but then I realized some of just the insane, like, Spider-Man-esque angles you can stick the turret to. It's just so annoying. Like, as if turret needed to be worse and more frustrating to deal with in Overwatch 2, even at this level. So Dip's got to play another character. As we said, the Tracer 1v1 between Gucci and Dip was way more even than I think the Torb 1v1. Little bit of a Lindholm gap in the chat, shall we say, was Dip giving out on map 2 and 1 when they got to play it for sure. Now they can see if they can do it on the time-traveling British lesbian, everyone's favourite fast-hopping gay woman.
Yeah, if Kerry wants to try and take the mantle of like the kind of promoted hero of Overwatch 2, well, you have to take over from Tracer, the one from Overwatch 1, the classic, the original. It still seems weird to me to have to visualize shields on Echo, but it means Lauren can go on a bit more of an angle and not necessarily need their supports always on them. Zydra under a lot of her, but the Brig's right there. Zydra's dropped. It seems a bit of a mistake to me. Immediately falls up. I don't know. I don't quite think they were booked. I think they genuinely just dropped to low point and was just one small misplay that immediately TA took advantage of, and they've just forced Quick back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Gio. I've been running around, so I didn't read the patch notes, and I've seen Lauren with a shield, and I've been like, wait, what? But literally, like, Echo buff jump scare. Definitely needs it, and they're going to be using those shields. It means obviously Echo really wants to be poking. They want to go in to that execution, they're going to need full HP to do it. Less resources required on this Echo, the better. So a little bit less HP, I believe, but obviously, yeah, shields so good because your uptime is just drastically increased. Speaking of uptime, that's a pulse bomb already coming out from Dip. That's insane uptime. But Willis is traded for Alba.
Both pulse bombs come out, but yeah, the Willis is down. The tank Willis is down.
The Willis.
Takuno going down, it's awkward, but with Tama still being alive, there's enough pressure to continue. Actually, never mind. Gucci goes down, and Tama's going to trade. Tama's so low, it's really down to like how much they can keep Zydra alive. Finally, you will see that Willis comes back, immediately gets Diva Bomb though, so immediately gets demeched and can't quite get back into it. The double Diva of Tama and Lauren was a bit scary, a bit spooky, too spooky for me. Johan with the orbital ray is going to keep their team alive, but they're not finding enough eliminations. Finally, Lauren goes down. Willis finding them, gets the mech back. Rally coming out from Alba on the attack. This should really be the final nail in the coffin, but they continue to feel a lot of pressure. Gucci takes Natsuki down, and you have to imagine finally they'll be able to get this one. It was a tough fought battle, but they have bled ultimates from both sides.
Ultimate's gone from both sides. I think it's just going to be better for this second point hold now. And finally it rolls in. It felt like TA as we see Albert completely littering the kill feed with those big left clicks, those right clicks. You'd think now, yeah, as you can see in the bottom, perks are starting to come up. I believe that is the Echo that can duplicate allies coming in from Lauren there. Off the top of my head, Takuno done with the bouncing nade, pretty good on this map, and it's just the small little perk choices.
Immediately proof. There you go.
That's why we banned Torb, guys, because the dip on Tracer, good sleep, and good night.
Yeah, when my flag support just says Tracer down, it's like, oh, okay, that's sick, awesome.
Tracer, yeah, nice.
The amount of space they have as well to push.
Good character design, Blizzard. Flex supports needed to be buffed on this patch. All the flex support perks are S tier, guys. Do not let big support farmer damn you.
Dep didn't like that. Gets vengeance immediately. The pulse bomb.
Personal
goes down, and that means they can't quite build that nano for this fight. And Natsuki goes down to Lauren because it's a lot of burst damage there. Lauren is just absolutely having a field day. It's like, okay, you cornered a tiger. Now you have to put up with the consequences of that action. Tama's still in this one, and Ross is going to go down. This feels like a generational throw. Like they had this fight, and then they just pushed too hard.
Yeah, they really flipped the switch on him. You know, the same way that the platypus does when he puts the hat on in the funny TV show. But nonetheless, Lauren with the copy here, and I know these are two really strong tools for TA to be able to snowball this. And Natsuki and Zydra are just, yeah, good night, man. Like, see you later. This is point 2.
I think Takuno's been practicing their OBS angles because that was so sneaky and cinematic that they just like James Bonded their way into the back and through that nade, won the fight off the back of it, and they're going to fly through into this third point with so much time in the bank. 3 minutes. This is looking good for Dorado.
Yeah, Takuno hitting them with the James Bond chord that we discussed before going live. Short back and blow your head off, absolutely. And now quick, they're going to have to respond. Luckily, complete wealth of ultimates. Now Zydra gets high ground, they're going to get the Brig rally. They're going to get couple of packs as well. Willis, where, what am I Diva doing? Team? Got his one.
What are my demons doing? This isn't Robot Wars, this is Overwatch. What was going on? But to be fair, quick, they finally put a halt to the payload moving.
And the halt is all that they need now because momentum will start to build. We talked about the power of the defensive hold of this composition on Lijiang Tower, right? Like when they were able to stable, really play the extended poke phase of the fight, it was so relaxed for them. And again, this means TA has got to use ultimates to break. Tama has gone over to the Hazard, going to be dropping perks, so down, and I think everyone on the side of Quick should have their mages up. Yeah, as we can see, they do. So they're going to be down in a little bit for perks for now, but obviously Tama assuming that the Hazard just gets too much value.
Orbital Ray. Yeah, Orbital Ray is allowing them to push forwards here. The dual rallying, that's a pulse bomb though from Gucci. Peekaboo, here's a bomb, go back to spawn, and that's going to force Quick to back up. They only really have the high noon if they want to keep it, but Tama is applying so much more pressure as that hazard now, so much extra damage on the front line, and Lauren is scary good at Echo, and the fact that Echo's been buffed, perhaps TA have found that special ingredient that they were missing temporarily. Tama gets a nano so they could just slam Zydra into the wall, through the wall, and now Natsuki in a world of hurt right now, being kept alive by life support via Juno, but there isn't enough to keep the point alive, as well as finds Tama, but they will immediately get demexed as Lauren has decided to play off tank. And no, this is not 6v6 comp, it's 5v5, and they'll finish Dorado with 1-1-1. That is a decent time bank for Dorado.
Yeah, their favourite number, clearly, and showing that they are the number one on this map. The tall ban absolutely doing wonders for them, because you can't engage as hard as they're looking to do, right? With that funny Swedish dwarf running around with his overload and his turret and everything. So once that's off the field, the hard dives really can come in. And honestly, at this point, if we're going to continue with the references, just put Tama in a red mask and call him Kane, because that was a choke slam onto Zydra. Quite literally just a get over here and go back to spawn and think about what you've done type nano. That was, Zydra was just one shot, man. Like, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
So much value on the Cassidy. So much value on the Cassidy this series. Has been doing a good job at living. I think one map even only took under 3,000 damage. Took very little damage, I think. On Esperanza did Zydra. Basically had non-mitigated. It shows how little they actually were shot in general. But no, all of that damage, all in their face at once, completely blown up. And from there, it doesn't matter if they trade, because Lauren has got the copy, the nano, to be able to stable on that diva as well. And now Quick, they've got to play some offense of their own.
Yes, and it was Dip that was kind of chatting about the Widow duels with Zydra, kind of teasing it, but not going to actually open up with the Widow. I mean, you could potentially go for a pick, but probably not worth it. I mean, people expect it these days, right? The unexpected thing is to not try Widow, especially on King's Row, because I feel like it's such a staple at this point that everyone just expects it and positions for it. As you see Dip positioning on this off angle, looking to just pressure Tama out back onto that high ground, and that's one of my favorite high grounds to play on, where you can just drop easily like that as the nade hits Zydra. So Gucci just immediately follows up, and they're just so quick at following up on what each other are doing. TA are such a great cohesive team, and that's why you're seeing so many teams struggle against them. And that's looking in a bit of a predicament there, is able to get out, but a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Yeah, and in particular, like Assassin's Creed Tracer on this map is just so good, right? Because you're just chilling on rooftops and dropping on battlelands unexpectedly. Real Ezio Auditore gameplay coming out from Gucci on this map, and it just shows how many hours you've put in, right, to be able to understand the loops and the rotations. Speaking of, Dip getting some quick jumps in there, quite literally, no pun intended. This Tracer 1v1, it's going around the world.
It's not 1v1, that's a hunt.
Yeah.
could not catch up.
Bro, he's playing Manon out there, like put the around the world soundtrack on. Absolutely.
But the pack is given to Gucci, so definitely to be a little bit careful. The rest of the team rotate round to give them that aid, and now they're just going to struggle to push into this open realm as Lauren just pummels them with so much damage from afar, and Nano being ready means that Tama or Lauren could get at any point. Alpha gets pulse bomb. There is an opening, but this Nano should be enough to turn it around. As immediately you see Tama try and take out Johan, but the orbital ray was put in just in time to keep that healing up. Takuna goes down. No healers now for the side of the defense for TA. Zydra going down though, as Gucci trying their best to equalize. Lauren had went onto the Diva just to create some space, potentially get a Diva bomb to keep their mech up, but it has caused a bit of a pause. Rally has been forced out of Natsuki here to try and secure it, as Tama backs up, and that's an awkward spot to get DMX. Is going to have to walk off the map, and that'll pretty much confirm that they'll get this point one.
Yeah, there we go. And I hate to sound like the tweet I was referencing earlier before we went live, Gio, about there is a lot of colours on my screen, but there was a lot of colours on the screen there. Everyone throwing out their ultimate, and in the end, it was just Natsuki's rally that was the last big important one. Everyone was throwing haymakers, everyone was dropping nukes, as you said earlier, but when the dust settles, it's the cockroach, the Brigitte, the unkillable, that crawls out of the woodwork and into the fray, out of the fire, and into the nice pre-scorched earth, shall we say, with that rally to stable it up. Nice high noon.
Talking about scorched earth, Peekaboo just got eviscerated out of the map, and see Lauren now going on a very aggressive off angle. You see emboldened there by the shield health that they'll be able to heal a little bit sooner than their passive healing. Wellus has went nice and aggressive here, but the follow-up's not quite there as Zydra's put in a compromising position. The rally comes out from Alba to push. Dip sacrifices himself to take out Takuno, falls on the proverbial sword as they continue to cleave forward into Dorado. Tama being kept alive by the health packs and the defense of the Brigitte there, who of course can have an extended passive healing with those whip shots, with that perk choice. Tama needing to just hide here for a moment before recontesting, and they're waiting for Takuno to get back, who is back, has their nano ready, and at any point will pounce. Big nade hits Natsuki, but no follow-up.
Yeah, they've still expired just before the rally comes up online. Buys a little bit of time, actually, I guess, while they were looking at the nade for Willis to drop the kill on Lauren. As we said, the buff coming in, the shields making it so the Echo is way less killable, but still found the angle with that slingshot diva, the assassin. 600 HP and a DM and micro missiles in your face. So huge pick. That Echo now has to respawn, run back in. There we go. Clone Diva just for tempo, surely.
Yeah, just for tempo, and having two Diva Matrix in your face while you're high nooning must be the most frustrating thing ever. It's like, come on, guys, I just press Q, that's all it is. But Lauren goes Diva at a very keen time where they did need to create some space, and of course Diva very good at doing so. As Dep flies into the background, if they can stick this, it's beautiful. Takuno goes down, Alba will follow, and that will be them charging into Dorado for a point with a very similar time that TA had. So this game is still all to play for.
Remember, it's match point right for Quick. The stakes are being raised. And they tried. They really said, Mobs, take his toys away, with a double defense matrix in his face. But, you know, Zydra being patient, showing that literally patience is a virtue. You just wait it out. Those two DMs don't last forever, although it definitely feels like it. Willis again gets another hit on to Lauren. This has been the most assassinated DPS. Willis has got something personal against Lauren, surely. They are always the target.
Yeah, to be fair, Wilson has been playing against Sojourn players since the start of Overwatch 2, pretty much almost permanently meta. Trying to get a little bit pushed in Diva bomb, doesn't quite get it. Gucci getting that pulse bomb early onto Natsuki is going to cause this awkward stagger of Quick where they kind of wanted to hold their position but not quite push, but it has put Tama in a very compromised position. They lose their mech. Orbital Ray coming up has been matched by Nano and a rally. The raid boss of Alba is not enough yet to turn it around, and oh, this is a really tough spot. They have their Ana behind them right now for the defense, and Takuno goes down. This is huge. Zydra's setting up so far back with this high noon. No Diva Matrix available right now, but that wall is just battering them. Alba gets pulse bomb. Goodbye, Tama. They can finish with more time, and they do. Quick Esports saying, yeah, okay, great attack, one up you, and has done so. This is the Quick Esports we want to see if they're going to win against EA, and so far, I mean, it's not too much of a time. Like, they practically have the same amount of time. They practically have the same amount of opportunity here, but which team will be able to find it?
Yeah, and we can see Dip engaging in mental warfare there in chat. Every single advantage they can take, typing in all chat mid-game to just try and, shall we say, we call it in cricket, we call it sledging. Shall we say?
Sledging? I've never heard of that.
Sledging is a term, yeah. It's like if a batsman is batting, you're in the slip, just like trash talking him. Effectively trying to throw him off. And Dip is maybe engaging in some psychological warfare, shall we say, some mental, trying to tilt some members on TA, and you know, it might be working. It might be working. Takuno goes late in that fight. They're not going to have Ana when you don't have Rally. No Rally, no Ana. Where is your sustain? Like, where is it? I don't see it. because it's not there. And
It's
now
not
Quick,
there. But
yeah.
you know what's there? All the perks. This is overtime rounds. Everyone has all their perks available.
Take Gucci.
And you see a little bit of extra range on the slash from Tama, so that dive's going to be a little bit easier at the beginning of this round. With only 1 minute, you really have to get as much movement on this bot as you can. And Wells will start on the low ground there. Has the perk where they've got some shields that they can build with their Diva Matrix. You see Dep just trying to force out the soldier on 30 HP. Very risky. Didn't have the recall. Thankfully gets the support in time. Wells getting a lot of heart. Needs to back up to the high ground to get a little bit of field. But Dep finds himself completely isolated and followed up on, while the rest of Quick Esports are desperately trying to back up to get a full fight together. Tama not letting it happen as the Great Wall of TA is erected.
Absolutely, and it has been raised. It will be falling momentarily, but it's all they need to secure themselves the cap. And now the overtime wick is going to start to burn. Remember, if you leave the point for even just a second, basically as soon as it gets to just outside the entranceway to the church, it's going to be really difficult for them to go ahead there. The walk back in is even harder as well because it has walls, right?
Oh,
Tama though
was down.
bit zesty, bit too far.
That was a brilliant and risky wall from Willis to wall their team off from the point, but knowing that Dip was there, it meant they could follow up on Tama. Lauren goes down, and now it's a hope and a prayer for the rest of TA, but they're still losing members. They are bleeding here, and it is not looking great for them. Not enough bandage here for them to stop the bleed.
Is this hold? I think it is.
Yeah, they
that
hold.
could be the series. It could be. That's a win con. That's a very, very achievable win con on this map.
Yeah, Tama just a little bit too far ahead. I think maybe hadn't checked that the hazard swap came out and got caught out by getting walled off. And what a perfect follow! What a good switch as well that was made by Willis to go onto the hazard at that point.
Yeah, really, really good switch. Absolutely. And sometimes all it takes is just the willingness, and it's almost going to sound like so generic because you can apply it to almost any esport, any situation, but it really is sometimes just the quick thinking and that ability to think outside the box, that intangibles that comes with experience, right? Just knowing that, okay, I'm going to wall myself off here, but I'm also going to condemn Tama, basically, and that one for one is worth, because I can live and I know that he can't. So really quick snap decision making, and it just hands Quick a huge opportunity. Could potentially snowball all the way into a 3-0. And as you said, this 3-0 would mean absolutely everything for them.
This would upend everything. With TA getting sent into the loser bracket, getting freed by Quick, who have failed to beat them before. This is everything that Quick need. This is everything that they want, but they need to secure it. They cannot let it slip away from them now as they walk into what could be the last map of the series. If they could sweep TA, how huge that would be for them. And already we're seeing that Tracer duel on the side between Gucci and Dip, and Dip immediately has to recall out of it. They have a little bit of time, not too much time, but they've got enough to slowly build some ultimates here and not force the issue too hard.
Yeah, you got to remember as well, I think if you swap at this point, you're going to spawn in with level 3 perks, so it really is advantageous to find that correct H key. Well, he's got to press the S key though right now, taking a lot of damage early, no spike guard, so that Scotsman could get decapitated if they are not careful, sent back, and unfortunately there will only be one if they mismanage that cooldown, importantly. 30 seconds and gone. Zidra just looking for a pick, has been hot on Cassidy this whole series, Gio, looking for an angle on this Sojourn now.
Yeah, it's all it takes, right? One to go down and the defense unfolds, but as we just saw in Quick's defense, it doesn't mean it's all over. But
there you go.
The Tracer getting their head clean taken off. Zydra has swung the door open of victory as Tama goes down, and that's not going to get back anytime soon. You're hoping your Tracer can come back in touch. Quick Esports are on the verge of sweeping TA and propelling themselves towards the finals, towards winning the bracket. But Tracer touches, keeps it alive. Takuno very close to Orbital Ray, but very low in health. Tama on the Wrecking Ball is a good choice to keep the team alive in this match, but there is Zydra with the very, very scary overclock. Tama taking so much
Gucci
damage.
again dead.
The ball
Tama
has
again
been
dead.
pierced, the balloon has been popped, and the mantle has fallen. The throne is gone. Quick Esports has taken out TA in a 3-0 fashion.
Yeah, what is a crown if not a target on your head? Absolutely. And it's quick work, you can say, in the chat. And I was just about to say there was nothing loony about the way that those tunes were going, because it was literally that's all, folks. I thought in that final fight that was it, but they got the recontest. That was an opportunity. But the reason is that it's Tama that dies second that really, really punishes them, because he has to come back on Wrecking Ball. Everything else is just too slow. And when you're in an overtime fight like that, you're in an objective fight, Wrecking Ball, it's just like admitting defeat. It's just a death sentence. I thought the bans were good for TA, getting rid of the Torb. Maybe they did need to get rid of the Cassidy, because again, Zydra just giving them work, man. This guy, I'm not sure what his record is since sort of getting a little bit more playtime coming into his quick roster. But as you said, subbed in last week, almost reverse swept, just lost that map, got 2 on his ones though, got 3 today. Like, sometimes you got to ride the hot hand, and they were in the bandwagon, they were on the saddle. Some excellent work from everyone. Started quick today. That's a really deserved 3-0.
Yeah, very deserved. And the only map you could potentially say perhaps TA could have won was Lijiang when Tama got taken out. But Quick continued to prove that it was not just a fluke. It was not just because of that technical error that they won Lijiang, that they came to play. And damn, Zydra, the Austrian player with hands for sure, because they were making magic. And then you put it next to Dip, like, who was also working wonders on the Torbjorn, doing so much damage and almost getting a 5k at one point on Esperanza. That's exactly what we want to be seeing from our quick squad, and that propels them forward in the bracket. I'm trying to see if we have an update yet on the other match, but of course that puts them in the upper bracket final. They'll be up against Frosttail Esport or 0907. Looks like Frosttail Esports are in the lead at the moment, so we'll say Frosttails Esport. And after TA, I would say Frosttails are the big team. If Quick are able to beat Frosttails in the upper bracket final, get to the grand finals, I would say they'd be looking very comfortable. So they've got one battle done, but they need to keep in that mentality of fighting, because it ain't quite over yet.
And I do think they found so much success with this Juno Brig Cassidy sort of comp, playing that extended poke so well. I mean, what can you say? Like, a team as experienced as TA and up there for a reason, and have added strength of their rosters, with the addition of Takuno a little bit later on, and absolutely upgrades. And look at Quick, man. Like, look at him go. The redemption run, and really, really good job today. And this FACEIT Masters has completely been blown wide open. Teams are falling, teams are climbing. We're seeing, people, as we said, get signed from previously destructed orgs, one of which I'm wearing under my hoodie right now. I'll say no more, but those players providing veteran leadership experience and huge buffs mechanically and macro-wise to these teams, and, well, being defeated anyway. So absolutely huge. My voice is a little bit cooked from a long day, and I'm sure yours is as well, but what a series. Like, well played to Quick, man. Excellent job. Like,
definitely earned, absolutely deserved, absolutely earned. The lads could pat themselves on the back, but not for too long, right? So keep your eyes open on the socials and for when this next match is going to happen, because I don't quite have the update yet. It'll be up against Frosttail Esports or 0907. So they have one more match before they make it to the grand finals. But with all the support from the chat, all the support from the background who everyone that runs Quick Esports, I'm sure they can do it. Thank you to Joe Too Cool for producing and doing something I've never heard of before in my time. Also casting at the same time. No, not this match. Another match. Um, yeah, doing double duty, absolutely insane. And Jay as well for running the observing the beautiful camera work that we saw. Thank you, Jace, for joining me tonight on what was a wonderful match where Quick showed that they have absolutely got the hands. My name has been Gio, and don't forget to laugh loud and love yourself, folks. Good night.